Shalom, shalom. This is Brother Jeremiah, giving all praises and glory to the Most High God Yahweh in the name of His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, and honors to the Akim pushing His truth in all sincerity. Welcome again back to straight. Welcome back to straight to the point, where we get straight to the point. Today's topic is going to be over drinking in moderation. How are we to drink? How are we supposed to drink? Okay. First scripture I want to get is 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 23. 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 23. And it reads, "Drink no longer water, but use a little wine for thy stomach's sake and thine often infirmities." So it says here, it says to drink no longer water. Okay? It says, but use a little wine for thy stomach's sake. So a little wine. It says a little wine. That's moderation. And the reason why, it says for thy stomach's sake, and thine often infirmities. So infirmities is bearing trials and troubles, right? It's bearing your weaknesses, bearing when trouble happens or trouble comes. It's telling you that the scriptures are telling you that they're giving you a suggestion that to drink a little wine, to drink a little wine. And why? Because it's good for you. Okay? So that's what the scriptures are telling you, to drink a little wine. Okay? Let's go a little bit more on the wine and how the Most High sees it. Okay? We're going to go to the book of Judges. The book of Judges, chapter 9 and verse 13. Judges, chapter 9 and verse 13. And it reads, "And the vine said unto them, Should I leave my wine, which cheereth God and man, and go to be permitted over the trees?" So scriptures are saying that that wine cheereth God and man. Okay, the Most High God, He created wine. He created that berries and the juices for us to enjoy. It's supposed to make us glad. Okay, well, we're going to see in the scriptures here in a little bit. So He created these things for us to be happy, because it makes Him happy that we are enjoying His creation. Okay, and it's good for our bodies too. Not too much, not to indulge. Right. Let's get Psalms 104 and 15. Psalms 104 and 15. And it reads, "And wine that maketh glad the heart of man, and oil to make his face to shine, and bread which strengtheneth his hearts, man's hearts." So it says that that wine maketh glad the hearts of man. So wine makes the hearts of man glad. Okay, so that's good, and the Most High God sees it as good. Okay, a little bit more on the wine. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10 and verse 19. Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 19, and it reads, "A feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things." So it says wine maketh merry. Wine maketh us merry. Okay? Let's go to the book of Sirach. Let's go to the book of Sirach, Salakia. Finding out how we're supposed to drink according to the scriptures. Okay? We let the Christian church tell it. They let us tell it. We're not supposed to drink at all. Okay, so this is the book of Sirach, chapter 40 and verse 20. Sirach, chapter 40 and verse 20. says, wine and music rejoice the heart, but the love of wisdom is above them both. So wine and music rejoiceth the heart. So there's nothing wrong with enjoying wine and music with your righteous family, with righteous family. We know that the unrighteous family will cause us to err. They will cause us to go into sin, or to drink excessively, or drink too much. Okay? And the scriptures tell us we're not supposed to do that. We're not supposed to be drunkards. Okay? We're supposed to be sober. Okay? So you can drink and still be sober-minded. And you still know how to deal with certain situations. Okay? So let's get a little bit more. Let's go to the book of Tobit. The book of Tobit, chapter 4 and verse 15. Tobit, chapter 4 and verse 15 reads, do that to no man which thou hatest. Drink no wine to make thee drunk. It says drink no wine to make thee drunk. So you can drink, just don't drink to make yourself drunk. Okay, it says, neither let drunkenness go with thee in thy journey. So don't let drunkenness go with thee in thy journey. So you're not supposed to drink to get drunk. Okay, let's go to 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 5. 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 5. It reads, finally, brother, farewell, be perfect, be of good comfort, be of one mind, live in peace, and the God of love and peace shall be Salakia. I'm off. Let's Salakia. I was at 11. So let's read 13 and 5. 2 Corinthians 13 and 5. It says, examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith, prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves? So in the Corinthians it's saying you should know your own self. Okay, so before you start to do any of these things, you need to know if you can, how much alcohol you can handle, or know when to pull back. If you can pull back, if you can stop. If you can't, don't do it. You should know who you are. You should know your own self. Okay, so it says, finish this off. It says, how that Hamashiach Yahushua is in you, except ye be reprobate. So we don't want to go into drinking too much till it causes us to be reprobate. Okay, so we need to drink in moderation. So we got to first know who we are and know how we react to alcohol. And are we able to get a buzz? A buzz is a good thing. We can do that. Buzz is good. But anything more than that, you've gone off. Okay. So let's get Isaiah. Let's get the book of Isaiah, chapter 5. Because Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 11. Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 11 says, woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink, that continue until night. So you're drinking from morning until night. Okay? It says, till wine inflame thee. So you've drank so much that wine has inflamed you. You've become drunk. So that's a bad thing. It says, woe to them. Excuse me. It says, woe unto them that rise up early in the morning and that may follow strong drink, continuing until night, till wine inflame thee. So the wine has caused you to err. It's caused you to be drunk. So you have done too much. So you've got to know who you are. You've got to know how much you can handle. Okay. Last scripture. Let's go to the book of Sirach. Book of Sirach, chapter 31, and verse 25. Sirach, chapter 31, and verse 25. And it reads, show not thy valiant in wine, for wine hath destroyed many. The furnace proveth the edge by dipping. So doeth wine the hearts of the proud by drunken by Slakia. Slakia, I'll read it over. The furnace proveth the edge by dipping, so doeth wine the hearts of the proud by drunkenness. Okay, it says 27. Wine is good. Wine is as good as life to a man. So wine is as good as life to a man. Okay, it says if it be drunk moderately. That's what it says. The scriptures are saying, if it be drank moderately, what life is then to a man that is without wine? For it has made to make men glad. So wine is to make men glad. Okay? So it's supposed to be drank in moderation. If you drink it moderately, it can make you glad, right? It has healing properties to it. Okay? It says, wine measurably drunk in the season bringeth gladness of heart. So if you drink it moderately in season, it brings gladness of heart. It says, and cheerfulness of the mind, but wine drunken with excess maketh bitter of mind. So if you drink too much, if you become drunk with wine, it makes your mind bitter. Okay, you start to lash out. You start to act out like like it talks about in First Kings, like a man that doesn't have a father. Okay, it says with brawling and squalling, drunkenness increases the rage. So drunkenness increaseth the rage of a fool till he be offended. Okay, so he's always offended. So he's drunk. He's always offended. He don't know what you're saying, so he's gonna get offended. You're like, it's not what I said. It says it diminished strength. So drunkenness diminishes your strength, right? You see winos or alcoholics, they're always stumbling. They want to fight, but they don't have strength enough to hold themselves up. Okay, so it diminishes the strength. It says, and maketh wounds. It says, rebuke not thy neighbor at the wine, and despise him not in his mirth. So you're not supposed to rebuke your neighbor if he's not wanting to drink. It says, give him no despiteful words, and pass not upon him with urging him to drink. So you're not supposed to urge him to drink. If a brother and sister don't drink, or if they know their limits, don't urge them. Don't push them to drink. Okay, the scripture says, don't rebuke your neighbor to drink wine. So you want to make sure that you drink moderately. To recap, it says, wine have destroyed many. It says wine is good as life is to man. Wine is good as life is to man. Okay, it says you're supposed to drink it moderately. It says, what is life to man without wine? It says, it was made to make men glad. You're supposed to drink it in season, which means moderately. Bitterness of wine is the drunkard, winos. So it diminishes your strength. So when you become a drunk, when you've drank too much, it diminishes your strength. It says, do not rebuke thy neighbor if they're not to drink. Don't push him to drink. Okay, don't urge him to drink, right? So, like I said, this is drinking in moderation, getting straight to the point that you can drink, just don't get excessive about it. Don't drink too much. Drink in moderation. Know your limits. Know not to push yourself to where you're drunk. Buzz, a light buzz is good, and it's also good for the stomach, but too much, it will cause you to go off, cause you to sin. So with that, I'm going to say, Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, giving all praises and glory to the Most High God Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, and honors to the Akim pushing His truth in all sincerity. I want to say Shalom, Wa Barak, Mashbaka. That's peace and blessings, family. All praises.